Hello, everybody. Welcome to November's Quality Sewing and Vacuum Sew Fun Virtual Live. We are here today with Iola
and Andrea.
And me. I'm stepping in today for Lily, who did so much of this beautiful work that you can see all around us.
Yep.
So I hope you have a great time today. If this is your first time on here, we have some live shows all throughout the month. If you go on to qualitysewing.com, you can find a local store with times where you can come and join for friends, food, prizes, and most of all, education. So we're going to jump right in today. Also online, leave a note down below, say where you're from. If you have any questions, go ahead and put that on down below. And today we are doing a 20% off coupon if you put in November, actually NOV 20 into the coupon code. So when you go to checkout, that's what you want to put in for all these wonderful things that we're going to be talking about today. Okay, Iola, let's jump right on in.
Let's. So Lillian and I have gotten to be good friends over the last 2 years, and both of us have purchased an L890 Bernina serger. So as we were talking and doing different classes, we thought, how fun would it be to focus on all the different things you can do, from quilting to sewing to you name it. So hopefully, for those of you that have a serger, this will give you some added ideas. For those of you who have a serger that's hiding in the closet, hopefully we will make it so that you want to bring it out and use it. And with that, I'm going to go for what was our tip sheet and a sample of how to make. We did the November tip is the Christmas tree napkins. And so I'm just going to run through it really quickly because in addition to the sheet that we have this QR code, which allows you to go and see more detailed instructions, and then to top it, as far as that goes, to top that we also have, Andrea did a How Do I on Tuesday, about 10 days ago. And anyway, it will go over in detail how to make these. But just to give you a quick overview, because you're going to a holiday party and you realize you don't have a gift in hand, you're just simply going to go and grab 2 half-yard samples of 2 complementary fabrics. So in this case, and part of my demo is going to be a little like a cooking show where you bake it for 30 minutes and it comes out in 30 seconds. So anyway, so here are my 2 complementary fabrics. I put these down, I fold them so that now with the fabric I've got 18 inches lengthwise, 9 inches high, and this is your very expensive template. So with this template made of cardboard, and let me tell you, I have done probably 200 napkins cutting, but with a sharp rotary cutter blade and a good mat, you can just slice right around the circle, do a slice at the seam, and you now have 4 of each color. From there, you're going to just simply put them together, and it doesn't have to be exact because we have a blade on our serger that can just nip off anything that wasn't accurate. So here I go with this, and now all I need to do is come over here to the serger, and you guys can tell me whether you can see, but pretty much I just line this puppy up and I drive. So as I go around, I'm just sort of taking off about 1/8 of an inch and the width of the blade. And this serger doesn't drive quite as fast as mine, but you'll be able to see.
So Iola, as you're sewing here, do you need to set your serger up for a special stitch, or does it just automatically stitch in a rolled hem?
Oh, it's magic.
Magic?
So the answer there is absolutely. You do get to set it up. And one of the reasons that Lily and I both fell in love with this particular machine was the fact that it's so visual as far as setting it up and even showing you the thread in both black and white and in color. But it also has a guided setup where, and I can basically take a look at virtually any of the stitches, but it will guide you through with various things. That's asking me if I want to save it, and I don't. But here's like all our overlock stitches, and again, I can see it in color. But basically, I can just choose any thread, and then this is guided mode where I just find it like a checklist. I go through rather than the chart. And for example, it will tell me here, I have one needle because of the rolled hem I was doing. In this case, for this stitch, I'm going to need 2, but it just tells me everything I need to know. And it's something that Andrea covered really well, specific to the rolled hem on her How Do I Tuesday. So I would recommend looking at that, but you just basically can go through this quickly. If you want to see how to thread a particular needle, it shows you, and then you press, and there you go. So you're set and ready. And as you saw, I just whipped around, and then what you get besides speed from me is that last sewing line, but you also get to see the fabric change color. So here we now have a rolled hem around the piece of fabric, and then the last part, and what these red lines have meant, and hopefully you can see, is these are your fold lines. And so basically you'll notice this is about 1 inch off of center. So what I do is I take, I'm actually going to move this so that it's easier to see. If I fold this down, my first fold is going to be here, where I just line up the what I call the bottom edge. It won't be in a minute. And there's that inch difference. And once I have that, I iron that down. Then I line this side up to there, flip over, slide that to there, and voila, you, after a quick iron, you're ready to hit that party and give a hostess gift of 4 of these. So I thought it was really kind of fun, and it was something we did as a make and take years ago, and it's part of what sold me on this serger and just the fun of doing things, because almost any serger has a rolled hem. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Andrea to talk about the bolster pillows and that pattern that we brought in.
Wonderful. So we did bring in this picture, this pattern right here. We'll go over top. Oh, there it is. Okay, here it is, the Sweet Bolster Serger Pillow. Now this is such a fun project. It's not only a project where you learn all kinds of different stitches and techniques, but it's usable too, and it's really applicable. I actually love these bolster pillows for when I sit in my bed or sit on the couch and I want to prop myself up to read or do anything like that. So anyways, I'm going to pull some of these out here so you can see. Ooh, you're going to be my Vanna. Thank you. Look at this. Aren't they so cute? Lily made these, and she made these with all the fun Tula pink fabrics. They're so bright and so colorful. And she also used some of the threads from our thread packs that we brought in. Look at that. Don't they match so well? So cute. So this is one of the thread packs that we brought in, and they're just, oh my gosh, she had such a fun time making. She made tons of them. She made a third one too. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But I'm just going to go over some of the details on here. So in this centerpiece right here, the pattern is going to show you how to gather on your serger. They're going to show you how to do piping on your serger. Right here, this is a single lock stitch. Flat lock, yeah, thank you. It's a flat lock where you can really showcase those beautiful threads. Here is a ladder stitch, and you can see how Lily was able to weave in some lace, or I'm sorry, not lace, that's not lace, that's ribbon. She wove in some ribbon right through there. Should we talk about that double-eyed needle right now?
We can wait.
Okay, we'll wait.
Wait, I've got another
We'll talk
sample.
about that in just a second. And then, of course, there's more piping and more ruffles and that rolled hem right there. But you can also see it shows you how to. Ooh, there we go. There's that little button. We have some little covered buttons right here.
Vanna will just hold them up.
Vanna, there we go. Right there. This is number 18 for all those that are in Pasco. Let's give a shout out to Pasco, Iola.
Hey,
Yay,
Pasco.
Hey, Pasco. So if you have a handout, that's number 18 on your handout. So it shows you how to cover these cute little buttons there for that end right there. Oh, it's so cute. So number 15, for those that are in Pasco or you at home, there is some cording that we brought in, and this is going to be used for the piping right here. So that's how you get that kind of fluffier piping look here and here. It's a great technique how you can learn how to do that. You actually learn how to do that with a zipper foot. Really, really cool. I thought that was a really fun technique to learn how to do that.
And the 5/30 seconds rope is also great. I actually used it to put around some ornaments that I just did.
Oh, fun. That's a
And
great
that was
idea.
a really good idea. And I'm going to duck to behind you.
Absolutely.
Because I want to show you. So the other thing that's covered, we brought in Gail Yellen's book about serging. And one of the things she talks about is how to gather, either using a ruffler foot or how to just do it if you don't have one. And so I have to share this sample here. And part of it, so here you're basically just going to take it through and you're going to take your ribbon and you're just going to stitch over it, and then you can actually control how much it's gathered.
So is that a 4-thread stitch that you do over the top there?
It is. So anyway, so once I've got this gathered, but what I also need to share with you is Lily did this and I thought to myself, I can't help it. This just reminds me, for any of you who've seen Fantasia, the dance of the hippos. And I don't know whether it shows, but anyway, I just kind of, it cracks me up every time I look at this fabric. So anyway, that is how you can, one of the 2 ways of, there are probably more, that Gail teaches you to gather.
Well, Iola, I do a lot of costuming and I make a lot of dresses with really big skirts. And so if you're working with a lot of layers and a lot of big things, that is the only way to gather things is using like a big ribbon or something if you're using something really thick. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that too. Okay, what's next?
Well, you've got the pillow with the lace on the end.
Oh yes, we do. Okay, so this I thought was just fun and so brilliant. In fact, we have a little sample right here of these little flowers. I'm going to move those up there so you can see these flowers right here, and so you can see this lace that Lily had made on the edge here. So this was, Lily usually does quite a few of these when she is doing practices. This was kind of her practice pillow, and then she made a couple of other ones, but you can see how it's serger threads that are just layered and layered and layered. And these as well, these flowers are just layers and layers of serger thread that was used. They use the aqua mesh here. You take a little strip of this and you put it along the edge of, in this case, you put a little you put a strip of the aqua mesh on the edge. I got my words right along the edge here, and then you do a stitch, and then you put more down and you do a stitch. Now this aqua mesh is amazing because if you touch it with water, you got to make sure that you don't have like your tea or water or something by it, because as soon as the water touches it, it starts to dissolve.
And I've got a sample to prove it.
Yes, you do. So I use some it was supposed to be water soluble things with some lace before, and it took forever to kind of get rid of half of it, but this one gets rid of it immediately. And then there's no residue left. This is really amazing stuff.
It is, and we'll talk more about it when I show Lily's next project that she did.
Awesome.
So just to add to that, and to hand to Andrea, this
should
is
we-
where you can see samples of where you go over in the same place where you can affect the density, kind of like those flowers
Here.
overlapped many more times to give it a thicker look. But it's just examples of all the fun things you can do
Absolutely.
as far as that goes.
And do you remember what kind of threads that she used here on this one? This was just the regular.
Yep.
This was just regular thread.
Yep.
And then the thread that was made to use this is a 12 weight.
Yep.
And 12 weight means it's very thick. So the smaller the number, the thicker the thread. The bigger the number, the thinner the thread. So this looks like more like a 40 weight here, and this is more like a 12 weight here. And we'll talk about that more in the thread sets in just a second.
Yep. So the next thing in terms of projects we brought in that are fun to see is, and hopefully I can put that in the right spot so you can
A
see
little bit
it.
more forward.
And here you've got the 3-pocket serger travel bag. Now this was a pattern that was written by Nancy Bednar, and she did this during the pandemic. And so I actually wanted to go exactly by the pattern and really follow the instructions. And I'll share a little bit about how my journey went with this, because Lillian, as you can see from some of these other things, is all about color and bling and fun. So I wanted to make sure that one of us made an attempt at truly following the pattern, because I think as consultants we have a lot of fun and we go, watch this.
Yes,
and
I'll
we
be your
divert.
Vanna.
So you're going to
whole
be my
thing's for
Vanna.
you.
So one of the things, so this is my travel bag. And I want you to see, per the picture, now this is the only picture I had until I went online. Is that a good angle? Here where she had 2 buttons, I did 2 buttons. Here she did something called mini piping. And basically the way you achieve mini piping is by doing your rolled hem and then going back over it a second time. And it just thickens it up and makes it a little denser.
I can see that.
And then she went, and I actually used the thread from the thread set we brought in. And so you'll actually see you don't have to have all the same color when you're doing something like this. So I actually have kind of a dark navy-ish in my needle there. This was one of my looper threads, and then I kind of had a gray one that was a woolly that was on the back. So that's kind of how that's comprised.
I actually like it. It looks like you lined it.
Yeah, it
looks like
gives
you
it a
did
little-
that totally on purpose.
I did. I had to do something to make this interesting. And then she has in the pattern just 2 little chain stitches. Again, I went to my packet and I grabbed some of the nice glamour thread and did a chain
Glamour.
stitch. And then I went, and so now we're going to go to the, well, actually I digress. So what's on the back side, Iola? Well, there turns out I went and I found Nancy talking about her pattern on YouTube at a Bernina event in the booth, and just talking about having written it. And so trying to be as true to form as possible, I went ahead and you want a Vanna?
Oh, I was just pulling out
Okay.
the little bottom part.
Okay, so anyway, I was busy doing screenshots as she was holding her pattern around so that we could do it. And one of the things I discovered was her clip is actually a D-ring with the snap off of it, and it would come up and actually attach to where she had a ribbon on this side. Well, this has become my front side because I really quite liked it. And I did have to deviate here as far as the way I did that. And I'm going to digress a little bit as far as, so here I went ahead and I just did 2 simple tack downs of my tab, and then we don't need to talk about the glue back there, but anyway, we'll flip open, and you are going to see the contrast between mine and Lily's when I show you this, because
Do you want me to hold up Lily's?
mine was, no, we'll get there.
Okay.
So anyway, so here is the 3 pockets here, and up top I just have that D-ring. And so many people have asked, okay, Iola, how are you going to hang it if you travel? And Lily has the same deal where we've got a D-ring. And I thought, at home I've got a number of little hooks that go over doors that are about a 1/4 of an inch, if not, you know, that can just go. I'm going to put that in my top pocket. But really, being a purist, if I was truly to do it right, this is what all 3 of my pockets would look like. I mean, it would be this. I chose lavender,
For your zipper.
for my
You're talking
zipper,
about your zipper too.
and then I went ahead and followed the instructions, and I went ahead and I did a 3-thread overlock to put the zipper in on all my zippers. Lily also did that.
So you're telling us that we can put in a zipper with a serger?
Yep, you can do.
And it stays beautifully?
Yep, you can even around here, around the edges, as
piping?
I was doing the front and the back, with the exception of the top, my final top stitch, everything
You
in
can
terms
add
of
in your
inserting my
binding,
vinyl
too.
and stuff was stitched in with the serger.
That's amazing.
So that was really fun, but I could not quite make it with that amount of plainness. So the middle pocket here is such that here you have a pleat in the vinyl, so that when you open this up, you can actually put in something a little bit bulkier, and it will expand. But I found myself needing a little bit of color, so I went ahead and added the fabric at the bottom and the top. And then I've been to too many buy any bag classes where I've learned how much I love to have a tab to pull against when I open and shut my zippers. So that was how I did this. And so that's pretty much mine. And we will look at it again in a second, since I'm not handing it around. So now Lily, who is just unbelievably creative and inspirational, this is Lily's bag. And it's a whole lot different. So first off, she did, this center is actually fabric she made with leftover thread.
Serger thread.
Serger thread, and just serging it.
You got it for trash.
Yep. Well, I don't think it's trash. I think she has a bin that she collects it.
Her thread.
She has now guilted me into not throwing away any of my thread anymore. So she might have an idea of what she's getting from me for Christmas.
So your thread scraps. That's so kind.
So back to the aqua mesh and see whether we can stretch out enough so you can see this here. This is aqua mesh where Lily has done 2 sides, or sandwiched the thread in between, and then just done some very basic start to the stitching. Now, when Andrea talked about how water soluble this is where we had a cup of water that just spilled a little bit, it just poof, disappeared.
It's amazing.
So, but the other thing that's cool about it when it dissolves like that is basically it is made up of starch, as far as that goes. So I would recommend that you go ahead and you rinse out any of your aqua mesh in a bowl, so that you can then use it again. You can save it. It doesn't go rancid. It doesn't smell after any length of time, so you can put it in a jar and you can just put it aside. And then when you need to starch something else, you can grab your fabric and either dunk it in, or I even took sort of like a paintbrush and just painted it on some fabric to just go ahead and give it some really nice stiffness, and work with it.
Yeah, you want to grab one of those for me and I'll hold one too?
Yep, we can both hold these. So these are 2 other examples of where you can take, and you can even see the reflection in there is the Mylar.
Yes, that's
and so
cool.
This is just, so first she's just basically done a bunch of cover stitch on this.
She just kind of went all over it.
In cross hatches, yep, until it was sturdy enough. And in this particular one, she tried a piece of organza on the back, and so it's a little more muted. So this is now the front. So anyway, that was that one.
On the back too.
But it's really fun to experiment with. And here again, she did the same thing where she stitched and made her, did all the cover stitch and made it solid. And then she came back in and used some of the decorative thread to just make the additional things. And again, hopefully it shines pretty well on the camera.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so cool.
So cool.
So going back to her bag and running through that, what's super fun is, again, I'll just show you, I mean, the detail on this, and when I fold it out, is very, very cool. But as you can see, Lily did not hesitate to go for the additional bling. So that is not in the pattern, but there is no reason not to do it. So we love our Tula Pink ribbons, and
all
so
kinds
on.
of ribbons.
The other thing, and she, as she puts it, she never throws anything away. So she had extra fabric that she turned into tabs. And here, again, you can see she did the exact same 3-thread overlock to go ahead and seal it. But she also was smart and chose to use splash fabric on the inside. So hers, unlike mine, is waterproof. So that was really cool as far as that goes.
Yeah, and splash fabric, we have this in all of our stores. So when you come in, you can pick any kind you want. She used lupine on this one, which is purpley.
Yep.
Purple color.
So, and honestly, I think this is a whole lot more styling than mine.
Oh, I love yours too. Yours is super cute.
It has its place. So anyway, so now looking at the outside, some of the other additions that Lily made that I thought were great. And again, I think we've spent too much time in Annie's classes learning to make bags. So she decided if she was going to carry it as a travel bag, it needed a handle. So she added this handle with just some heavier duty stabilizer and a little bit of squishiness to it there. And then she even went a step farther and thought, okay, I can add tabs and actually make it over the shoulder so you can show it. So, I mean, pretty styling to carry around. I mean, I think it's stunning.
It is fabulous. Isn't there a little bonus item that came with this? A little bonus pattern?
So in addition, and actually part of listening to Nancy when she was doing her video chat in the Bernina booth that I found on video, she was talking about the second half, if you flip it, where it talks about, they call it just little mini serger zipper.
They can't read that.
Well, mini zipper deals made of vinyl. So Lily, of course, if one is good, she's got
she
color.
Had a rainbow pack of vinyl, and so she just did them all.
Yeah. And what's really fun about this is that basically it's just completely made with the serger. So as she put it
up here,
and I'll see if I can just toss it so you can see just really quickly. There's your little 3-thread overlock, installed the zipper the same way. And as she put it, the hardest thing to do was actually to turn it right side out, because vinyl sometimes is a little bit stiff and a little bit tough. But one of the tricks that I've learned that I suggested and I actually used myself was to go ahead and use a hair dryer, because you can warm it up a little and magically it turns so much easier.
Are they so cute?
I will also share.
So this is a free pattern that comes with.
It comes within that. It comes
within this, so you can make your 3-pocket pouch and all these little travel pouches too.
Yep.
Very fun.
So the other thing, just really quickly about the vinyl and heat. So as I was stitching, and of course it was very plain in here, I went ahead and actually stepped into the vinyl with my needle, and I went, oh, that's really bad. But what's really cool is if you take a little bit of heat, a lot of times that'll just
you can shrink it,
shrink the hole. So really, where I made those mistakes, nobody would know.
Awesome. So, that's a good tip. Thank you.
I'm all about covering for things.
Awesome.
And I'll just show you one last thing regarding mine.
Right up here.
Here was the opportunity I took to just think about going the decorative thread route. So I just want everybody to appreciate that I do like all of this, but the pattern only called for those 2 single little chain stitches. But you can do so much more with all these threads.
Absolutely.
So,
Okay, what are we going to talk about next, Iola?
I don't know, what should we?
Should we talk about our fabulous clothes that we're wearing?
We could.
Awesome. We are wearing some amazing patterns that they brought in, and these are actually some of my favorite clothes. They are some staples into everybody's wardrobe, and they can all be done on your serger. Serger sewing is my favorite because it is so fast to do. You, from beginning to end, you can have a piece of clothing, a new piece of article in your wardrobe in like an hour or 2. I mean, honestly, once you get this down, it just goes by so fast. So which one should we start with? Pants?
Why don't we
shirt,
start with the pants?
Jacket?
Because this was a lot of fun for me. So here we brought in the Jolie pattern called Sylvie, and it comes in 28 sizes, and it comes in 4 different variations. So as far as that goes, if we can, I'll step over there, or we can bring them over. You tell me which is best.
Or you can get,
all right,
you're closer, I guess.
Pretty much from here, one of the first I'll show you.
Oh, why don't you grab the whole thing?
Okay, we'll grab the whole thing.
Bring it on over.
All right.
Bring the whole thing.
We're actually going to handle all these, but with the pants, one of the things,
maybe that's fair enough. Okay.
So here, this guy is just obviously a little pair of shorts.
So cute.
I will tell you, we clearly love Amanda's bundles and the pop-up shops that we have here.
Are all these made with Amanda's bundles?
The vast majority.
I think they are.
I think 85% are. So anyway, so this was just a very cute pattern. And one of the things I thought as I'm learning to sew clothing, if you sew for a 5-year-old, you can have plenty of yardage to make up various projects if they don't go quite right. And the other bonus is find yourself a kid to sew for, because I showed these to little Gwendolyn. She popped them on and she said, Iola, these are awesome. Can I have a shirt too? So
yes.
That makes it just really satisfying. In the similar way, if a 5-year-old is good, an 11-year-old is equally good. And so this is
I have a 10-year-old that would love these pants.
So anyway, so these are just kind of a corduroy velour that I did not get from Amanda's bundles.
Nice.
But anyway, I showed these to the 11-year-old, and her response was, these are awesome, but the next set you make me, could you do them capri length, which is one of the designs
just
that's
a little bit
on
shorter.
there. So
Just
yeah,
mid-calf?
so mid-calf. So
Okay.
that's her next request. And then the next one that I want to show you is this guy. And what's relevant here
Was this full
this
width?
is the actual pattern, and yes, and you can see
I'll
it's
hold it
a
up high.
pretty wide leg
That's
as
the
far
part
as
that
that
I
goes.
like.
So
that part.
both Andrea and I decided after this one, and it's not a 2-seam pattern, it's actually just this seam on the inside. So it was really pretty simple for ours to go ahead and just slim the leg
No
down.
side seam.
Yeah, so no side seam, and very simple and very easy to do the adapting.
Yeah, Lily, she didn't like how wide the original pants was, and so she just did some simple. So I think she made 3 pairs where she made them a little bit thinner and a little bit thinner and a little bit thinner, and third time's charm. Is so great. And so it's such a simple pattern that it's really easy to alter if you want to.
Yeah.
And I'm actually wearing a pair of them now.
As am I.
Nice. What I really love about this pattern is the waistband. Actually, I love how wide wide, how wide the waistband is right here. And I love that because there's no tightness to it. You can dress this up or dress it down. Like we added some shawls and some nice things over it, but you can also wear these to your yoga class as well. So it just depends on the fabric that you use to make it. If you want to make like a professional business pair, you'll want to make it out of ponte, or if you want to make it just a regular yoga workout pants, you can use that, just some 4-way stretch. So great.
I'm wearing these
all on
everywhere.
The serger.
Yep.
All on the serger. You can just pop these out in a bunch of different colors.
Yep.
Super fast. Okay.
So then the next thing we might as well talk about is
the shirts.
The waterfall raglan shirt.
Awesome.
So one of the things I sort of joked about as I was showing this at the various stores is I don't know how well you're going to be able to see the drawings of the pattern, but when I first looked at the drawings, I thought, I'm scared because it looked like we were going to be wearing a tent. And what I've discovered from actually doing it is, as you come back to looking at the shirt I have on, it actually is a very, very nice shirt.
It's super
see
flattering.
If I can stand, but it's very pretty, and it does wear really well. So.
Iola, did you know that third picture is actually a dress in there? I didn't know that. I thought they were just 3 different shirt lengths.
I knew it was longer, but I didn't realize it was a dress.
The third one is actually a dress, and I just saw pictures of it the other day, and it was super cute. So
that is awesome. So anyway, so one of the things we really tried was to really show you the variety of looks you can get from this pattern, so that you are excited to make it.
So the polka dot one here is very similar to what Iola is wearing. Sorry.
Yep.
We can like put it back here so you
That's
can
okay.
be there too. Okay. So we're not blocking Iola out. So this one is about the same length as Iola's. I think maybe a little longer, but the sleeve length is longer. Iola's is a little bit shorter, just a regular T length, and this one hits you like mid-arm. So if you want to cover your back arms and are not would like to just cover those, you can with this longer sleeve length, and it's really nice. I really love that longer sleeve. And then here we have this one that has a little ruffle along the edge, and it's super cute, really adorable, and it has the raglan sleeve here, hence in the name. But what I've really loved as I've gotten older and seen more people wear the raglan sleeve, it looks really beautiful on every body shape because it's really forgiving with this raglan. You don't have to have your shoulders at a certain width or narrowness. It just kind of goes with every body. So that's what I really loved about that one. And then we have this blue one. It's like a heathered look with black in it, and it also has that longer sleeve to it. And this one is also made with some jersey. Super cute.
More from Amanda's Bundles.
More from Amanda's Bundles. We love Amanda's Bundles. It actually comes into our company a couple of times a year. So come into our stores, look it up, and because you don't want to miss it when it does come around.
And you might want to explain, because this was something that I learned about, the transparent elastic that we brought in, that the black polka dot one shows really well in close-up how you use it.
Okay, so if you look inside a lot of your store-bought clothing, you'll see this clear, transparent tape, or it's not tape, it's elastic. And you probably wonder, why does my t-shirt have elastic in it? Well, our t-shirts are really stretchy. And when you put that in an area that has a lot of wear or like pulling on it, like a shoulder or a neckline, it's going to help keep the shape in shoulder seams, in armpits, and necklines. So here you're going to see in Lily's, I'm going to fold it out here a little bit. You can kind of see how it's shiny. She added it to the neckline all around here, and it's going to help it keep its shape right there. Now, as you're going with your elastic, you want to make sure that you pull a little bit on your elastic and not your fabric.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that you want to keep in mind, that you want to tug on, not tug on it, but just hold it a little bit taut, the elastic, and not the fabric, because the fabric will have kind of a wavy effect to it if you do it. But it's definitely an item that you want to have in your collection when you are sewing with knits.
Yeah.
All right.
So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
So then the third pattern we brought in, and since I'm standing here, I can probably hold it a little bit easier, is this simplicity pattern that actually we have had in the store in the past. It's actually even been a pattern that the instructors chose as one to teach people how to sew. And I think the other part that's relevant to this is just, it's a pattern that those people continue to find new fabrics and make, because it's just such a really, really cool pattern with so many different looks. And so I think by the time everybody was volunteering to donate, here, take mine so you can see what this look looks like, and that we ended up with 5 or 6 different samples. So
awesome.
Anyway,
hey, we've got tons of samples over here, and the reason why we brought it in is because it is such a simple design, and Iola and I are both wearing some. See how easy and breezy they are. Lily made this one that I'm wearing, and she was experimenting with how the sleeve goes. You can see that it's a bat wing sleeve, which I love. I really think it is also very forgiving and very, very beautiful. She put it this way and then experimented with putting the bottom of I guess it's the skirt part of the jacket this way, just to see how it would lay. And then she had a little bit left over. Do you have the little one?
I'm just grabbing this.
Yep, she had a little bit left
really
over.
And
You're gonna add it to that one?
I'm gonna just, so that everybody can see
made
again,
one.
this is the one. But
And she didn't put the bottom part of it on there. She just left the bottom part off. And I actually thought was a really great idea, because now it's a little
it's a little shrug. And so
and
I'll
she
let you hold it for a
experimented
second.
with putting the stripes the other way.
Yep.
So
And just
how you
another-
put the stripes can change the way it looks.
Yep. So another very cool look.
Yeah.
Now, your twin.
My twin. Absolutely. Okay. So there are there are just all of different ways to make this pattern, which I really love. You can put a cuff on it. You can put a trim on it here. You can see how she color blocked here on this next one behind right here.
And this one's really cool, just really quick. It shows you how simple it is as far as the contrast on the sewing.
And she really also put some of the elastic in the side seam here, because that's where you get a lot of pull right on the side.
Yep.
So you can really keep it in shape.
So
just awesome.
That was very fun. Then this one, and again, the other thing you can see if you zoom out is mine is quite a bit longer, just because I feel like I'm a little bit rounder than my co-presenter today. So I like the slimming look. So that's another thing that you can do. And this one just has a tie up here at the top, but again, just some nice drapey fabric.
Yep.
And then that was Lily's big
This is
find
a longer. Yep. This one has a longer bottom part on it. Here you can see that when you turn, it's cut more at like in a C shape. So when it drapes, it has that beautiful like ruffle effect. And once again, this was just from Amanda's bundles, and it was kind of the sad one that was all by itself that nobody took. But as soon as Lily made this into a jacket, everyone was like, oh, Oh my goodness. Yes. So all in the serger as well. We've got the overlocking cover lock. It's all beautiful.
And then here, she just picked up an inexpensive t-shirt, and to dress it up to go out, she just went ahead and attached this lace.
Yeah.
To just give
With
that a little bit.
The serger,
Yep.
which is awesome. Oh, I was getting the front and the back there. Yep, she just attached it right on with the serger, which is just so beautiful. And then another, this is our last one. It's got color blocking on it with the cuffs. Just a bunch of different ideas that you can do with this pattern. Okay, let's. You know what? We have these beautiful tennis shoes over here that we haven't talked about.
No, and we haven't talked about the book, which is where we got the idea for the tennis shoes.
Yes.
So, as it relates to that, we brought in the book Serger Essentials by Gail Yellen, and it covers a myriad of different things from basics. I find it a great reference book, but it also is really fun as far as ideas go. So one of the things that when I did my travel bag, when I did my ribbon, I basically went and referred to Gail's book. So here she talks about doing making ribbon with wire in the edges. So I did this because I thought as we traveled around, smushed these in packages, you know, that it'd be nice to be able to hold it. So I did this, and there's just a very thin wire under the rolled hem. Lily went to her husband and said, honey, do we have any lightweight wire? And he said, I don't think so, but you can go look. And so she looked in his toolbox, nothing, went to his fishing tackle box and found some fish line. And so she just went ahead and used that. And then, as I pointed out on my travel bag, I didn't use anything. So really you can go any which way. I will also say, I don't think I'm ever going to buy ribbon again, because when I did my travel bag, I had 2 full drawers of ribbons and none of them matched. So I'm like, I can do better. So anyway, so that was that, and that's one of the things we took from her book. The other thing that was fun, and if you can get me the hook key, I've got it right here.
I was going to say, I don't know where the hooky is.
So anyway, so another thing that we brought in, and I'm going to talk about both so that you understand the difference, and maybe there's an overhead camera that I can...
It's going to go right over the flowers right here.
Okay, so I'm going to do this. So one of the things is a double-eyed needle. So this guy just has 2 things, and if I haven't said it before in this broadcast or, you know, in other times online, I hate hand sewing. I am just not a hand sewer, but that includes threading needles. But anyway, this is a time where you would want to, where you have your flat lock, and in this case, we basically have gone over 3 stitches, under 2, over 3, under 2. So this, you're going to want to be able to weave through the length of it, and so it needs to be able to go a great length. So that's where you are going to want one of these in your arsenal.
Yes, and that also was on Lily's pillows here, where she used it to weave in the ribbon right here in that ladder stitch that she put in there. Really beautiful.
So then on the hooky, one of the things that's very cool about this, no threading required, and their packaging is quite good as far as the image, but here on anything that I go around, like the edge here, and I need to take the tail and lock it up. I can actually find a better thing here. This, I don't know whether you can see if we zoom in, but there's a little opening that allows you to hook that tail. And so it's obviously not going to go much longer than an inch, but you just basically slide this under the threads. And as you go, you then pick up that tail and you just pull it back out. So this is great. I actually have on my Bernina, I have one just stuck in next to my needles, so it's handy because I use it all the time. And I still use a little bit of fray check, like on the napkins and stuff. The fray check is just great for a little dab of just soaking in glue to make sure that any of those remnants don't go anywhere. But this is great, and even I've been known to use it on a sweater where it had a errant thread that I've just come out, grabbed it, pulled it in, and worked with it. So super cool little tool, type of thing that would make a great stocking stuffer. So that's that puppy.
Okay, did we want to talk a little bit more about our the Gail Yellen serger book?
We sure could. So let's see.
I see that you have so many tabs in your book.
I was about to say, so the book does have a myriad, because the other things it covers as far as techniques are things like when I was doing the serger bag, doing a really pretty job of coming, and rather than just running off and then coming back on, just how to make turns with things, about the tension. And then
the edge here.
As far as other things we didn't talk about with clothing, is this lettuce edge that you can do with your rolled hem. So you've got to see this last piece of garments that Andrea will bring over, which are too cute. So this is the Sleepless in Seattle fabric. Once again, we found the Amanda's Bundles table, and Lily had to have.
It was so cute.
So anyway, so she did that.
So these jammy shorts that this is just, there's no rolling on the edge. It's not like folded up or anything. It is just a rolled hem. And here, if you pull the fabric as you are doing the rolled hem, this is how you get this cute lettuce edge. And so these little jammy pants are from our pants pattern right here. Ta-da! These are from this. So you can make the jammy pattern from here. Go ahead and hold that. And then the shirt pattern is from the waterfall raglan. Look at it, it's so cute. And she did the same lettuce edging on the sleeves and the bottom of the shirt. Isn't that so cute? I want to wear these jammies so bad.
Me too.
Those are so cute. So the shirt was from the raglan waterfalls pattern right there. Okay.
Yep. So one of the last things that we brought in that is a must-have for everybody's stocking, and I think it's maybe a little mislabeled, and that was, and maybe I should put it in the package for.
We can't keep those in stock.
But no, and this is a little.
They call cakes.
They call it a needle threader, but if you talk to Lily, it is a needle changer. So what's cool about this, and again holding my hand, is needles have the flat on the back. So I had no idea that you could put a needle in backwards, but this allows you to always have it facing the right way. But it also makes it quite easy
your hand's
to hold.
in the way.
I was about to say. To hold it under as you change. And
you should sit at the sewing machine.
That's a great idea.
Or the serger is not the sewing machine. Go sit at the serger and show them how it's done.
That's a great idea. But anyway,
fantastic.
As it relates on the serger, it has 5 different needle positions. So you do find yourself being told to take them out, put them in. And so this just makes that super easy and super fun. The other thing though is how it threads the needle, and so we'll see if I can show this. So when you look at it, it has a little arrow and it has a hook. Does that show on the top? So when you do that, you roll it down the needle, and here you've put your thread across. And so there's actually a little wire in here. So it's very much by touch that you go down this needle, and when you get to that hole, that
you find the eye.
You find the eye, and just
your hand is in the way, Iola.
Let's see if I can.
There you go.
I was gonna try.
Perfect.
It's the challenge of doing this loose, but I'll get it. So there we go.
Yeah, you can do it on the actual needle.
That's a good point. It's got a thread in the way. But anyway, as we put it...
You get the idea.
Anyway, you'll get the idea. But yeah, so you just go down, and as you get to that eye, it goes ahead and pushes that wire through, and it makes a little bubble. And that's the reason you have the hook, because then that little loop, you just pull it aside, and you're good to go. And I am convinced, no matter how good your machine is, every now and then, your needle threader has PMS. And when it does, it's just the right thing to let it have a break and go ahead and use this guy.
It's nice to have the backup for the needle threader, just in case something does happen to your needle threader, and you have it there. I know some gals that buy one for every sewing machine they have.
Yep.
So there's just one right by it. I know that I have dropped needles inside of my serger, and that is no fun to try and get that out. So this prevents that needle falling inside. It's not so bad when it falls inside your sewing machine, but it is a pain when it goes down into your serger. So that's why we brought that in, to prevent the needles from falling through.
Yep.
Speaking of needles, Iola, we forgot to talk about some needles that we brought in.
Yes.
Do you want to do, which one do you want to do?
I'll do the stretch.
One? The stretch.
Well, either way. Either way. But anyway, we did bring in both of these packs of needles.
Yes.
Both the stretch and the top stitch in a larger one. But basically, if you're going to be sewing the knits like we were and all the various Amanda's bundles, you are going to want a stretch needle. So we have these.
There's actually a difference between the stretch needle and a regular, like universal or sharp. These have more of a ballpoint end on them, and it's rounded. And the reason why is because it's going to just poke right through it's stretchy, so it's just going to poke right through the woven parts of your fabric, and you're going to get such amazing results when you use the right needle with your thread. So it's super important to use the stretch when you're using stretch fabric. It makes a huge difference.
Yep.
Now the reason why we brought in these 116 weight, is it weight? Size, yeah. The titanium needles is because we brought in these beautiful thread packs right here. Yeah, am I going the wrong way? I'm going the wrong way. Okay, there we go. We brought in these serging packs here. You want to hold this?
Sure.
Because I'm covering up the wording. Oh my goodness, this one is the powder room, which has a bunch of the pinks in it. You hold that one. And this one is called Modern, which I really love. It's got a bunch of bright colors, but then it's also got a bunch of the solid basic colors up there as well. And also this one is this one called Marina? Marina, I was right. I knew it had something to do with seaside. We brought that in because we live in Seattle, or the area around there. Okay, so the thing that I really love is on the back of these serger kits. Now, this is a sampler set that is going to get you started with all of the things that you saw today, all the different kinds of stitching. You're going to have the woolly threads that you want for the rolled hems. You're going to have the regular 40 weight threads to do your regular stitching, applying your zippers, doing your seams, all of that. You want that regular 40 weight. It also has some glamour and the 12 weight in there. And on the back, it talks about all of those different threads. It's going to tell you what needle you need. It's going to tell you how to use it, what fabrics to use it with. So these are just amazing kits. I love that Wonderfil has basically given you a map of how to use all these beautiful threads inside here. And I love that there's such a variety of colors as well. So you want to get yourself up one of these sets, or all three.
Yep.
You have all three.
I do.
Iola has, or not Iola, you're Iola. Lily has, I think, doubles of all of these because she loves them so much. But this is going to be a great way to really get you started, really experimenting and working with your serger. So that's why you want to get some of these sets.
Yeah, and on a last...
Wait.
Okay, sorry.
I gotta talk about my threads. So on two of these thread in the thread pack, they want you to use the 116 size because it has a larger eye. It's a top stitching needle, and that's going to be for your thicker thread. So that's why you want to pick up some of these larger needles right here. And titanium means they're going to last longer.
Yep. good 3 times longer. So like and you can use them with your sewing machine too.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Did we save the best for last?
We did save the best for last. But the last thing to say about Wonderfill is they are really good on education and resources. And it's one of my favorite things because really, as Andrea was saying, matching the right needle to the right fabric to the right thread makes all the difference. And I have certainly learned that over the last couple of years. But inside, they actually have a link to a QR code that happens to not work, but they have tutorials about their thread.
Website.
So just go, I was about to say, go to their website because you can learn so much from them.
Lots.
But yeah, we absolutely left my favorite thing till last, and I can't believe we did. And that
I can because it's amazing.
So this is the little mini sonic power vacuum, and it actually has 3 levels. So you just press this to get it going, and then you can go.
It's on the other side. Oh, no. That's awesome.
So anyway,
when you serge, I know when I serge, I don't know about you, but I make so much
lint, and
there's so much little stuff, and your serger, you open it up and it's almost like wow, because there's so much little bits and pieces of fibers in there. So that is why we brought this in.
Yes, and it comes with its own little accessory bag, which is really nice for holding it and the accessories.
All these fun accessories.
So there's that, but you've got these 2 other vacuum nozzles, and I was very pleased to see the one with the brush was heavily used at the Silverdale store to the point that it was good and dirty. But anyway, and then I'll show you that one in a second. So
and your
USB charging cord. But the other thing to know about this is that you can take it apart. It's got a little flap to keep everything in. But one of the things that I thought was a bit of a concern as I was using it and testing it out was that I wished desperately, where did it go?
On the floor.
Andrea, bring it back. So one of the things I wished for was that this was a little bit longer and more flexible. And so Lily and I were talking about it, and I'm like, once you buy it, you don't want to spend more. But we came up with the solution for you, and it is free. And it is called a straw. And I want you to notice that this particular one has the flexible articulated arm for sipping, but it also means that I can get in there anywhere in my serger and get to that lint and stuff that's farther away. So that was a really big deal. So just know that. And then last but not least, and especially on your baby lock machines, do not do this with your sewing machine or your Bernina, but this side, you can press the button. And if you travel, you can always use this for your hair, but it also does a great job blowing out the lint and stuff. So I know a couple of people with their baby locks because you can open the end, but just make sure you never point in towards your machine just because you're gonna be in here that much quicker for service because you'll have lint and stuff where you can't get it.
You want to suck it out.
So
you use that to blow off your table.
But it has a great little filter, super easy to take apart and clean out and dump. So, and as you can see, little bits of serger lint.
We've been using it.
So anyway,
it's been used.
It is truly, I mean, it's been selling out like crazy, and
it has.
I'm gifting it.
It's a really great Christmas present this time of year. It's easily, you can ship it really easily. Oh, Carrie, do we have some prize winners? Yay! Iola, do you want to go grab? There's a book and a ruler over on the other table. Thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. Did you guys have a fun time? Because I had a fun time. Even if you don't have a serger, a lot of our patterns that we brought in, you can use on your regular sewing machine. But we want to encourage you to step into that a serger machine if you don't have one, because they are amazing to have. Okay, we have We have a winner from YouTube and Facebook.
Yay.
Our first winner is from YouTube today. It's JNUNN 8804. So if that is you, if you're Jenny or Jasmine or whoever that may be, or James.
Or Jay.
Jay, yeah. Go ahead and email me, shoot me an email with your name, phone number, where you're from. If you're local, just tell me what store you'd like me to send your prize to. This is for the 90-degree ruler. So Jay Nunn, thank you so much for tuning in today and being with us. Our next winner is going to be Betsy Neiswanger from Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us today as well. We have this pattern that we brought in a couple of months ago. It's called Snap Happy, and I am so happy to send that to you. Once again, email me at andrea@qualitysewing.com, and I will send that out to you. If you're not local, please send me your address, and I will mail it to you. Okay, and just as a friendly reminder for all of those that have joined us today, if you go onto our website and you want any of these lovely products that we brought in, don't forget to put in the NOV20 code and you will get your 20% off as long as they are available. And what was that?
Make sure it's 20, not spelled out.
Oh yes, so it's NOV20. There you go. Thank you, Chris, for sending us that reminder. So we're so glad that you joined us today. Thank you, Pasco. Let's say hello to Pasco.
Yay,
hello. Happy Thanksgiving. We hope you have some great holidays. Then next month, we don't have a live show because we have our in-person holiday open houses. So go online to qualitysewing.com and see where your local store is if you're in the area, and hop on by because those holiday open houses are
Awesome.
Awesome. There's tons of food, lots of prizes, and show and tell. So bring your show and tell because that's my favorite part of all of our presentations.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us today. We will see you again in the new year in January 2026. Thank you.
Bye.